Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another JK Deal Reveal. And today, for the very first time, I think in the history of all deal reveals, I'm going to bring you something, well, not for the first time I'm going to bring you something new, but I'm going to bring something today that I don't think I've ever done on a deal reveal before. And you might find it actually quite interesting. We'll see. Let me know if you like it or not. So, nice to have you all here. I want to, first of all, inform you all that if you weren't aware, but JK's Entrepreneurship has taken sail. We're wrapping up our second week tomorrow. What is the JK Entrepreneurship? It's a bunch of entrepreneurs, not necessarily only real estate, but a lot of us do love real estate, come together and wake up together amongst each other. So it's a wake-up call, 6:30 to 7 Eastern Standard Time, and we share our best practices from health, wealth, and abundance, getting off, starting our day off on the right foot. And it is amazing. Thank you for all who joined on this brand new edition that started 2 weeks ago. If you're interested, just reach out and we'll welcome you aboard. So today on our deal reveal, we are getting excited because we are going to, as always, analyze deals quickly and potentially a much better market for cash flow and real estate investing than what maybe you have in your backyard. And I'm going to say a special thanks to Michael, who submitted this particular deal. And here it is, 1993 Redman, 16 by 60, a 3-bed, 2-bath, somewhere in Ohio for $15,900. Like, what does that mean, right? What is this all about? What do the Redmans have to do? What does McGill's football team have to do with this? What's this 16 by 60, 3-bed, 2-bath? Okay, I get that. And what do you mean somewhere in Ohio? Where's the address? Well, this is a mobile home. Okay, this is a mobile home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, being sold for $16,000 in relatively good condition. We're going to get to take a look at it in just a moment. And 16 by 60 are the dimensions. This is a single wide. Single wides can be typically 14 or 16 foot wide, and 60, yeah, you get some smaller ones, but 60 to 76 feet long is pretty much standard what we see, what's most common of what we see in the Midwest, Ohio, and Michigan, where we dabble in these assets. And so this is a property, a piece of, I should say it's a vehicle, because a mobile home is actually a vehicle. It has a VIN, a vehicle identification number. And because of that, we're going to treat it a little bit differently. It is a depreciating asset, just like a vehicle. So it loses value in most markets year after year. There's some aberrations like California and so forth, where you'll have mobile homes that are worth $300,000. But for the most part, it's in the Midwest, where we're buying, affordable housing. These are depreciating assets. And yeah, you might see them in relatively good condition for $16,000. So it's in Ohio currently, but maybe it doesn't stay there because it is a mobile home. It is a trailer, which can be, it's not as easy as hooking up your U-Haul trailer and moving it around, but it can be moved. So let's take a quick look at what this property is and see if this is a deal or no deal, and maybe what are some of the criteria that would change your decision on whether it is a good or bad deal. So first of all, let's take a quick look at this. You might say $16,000, this is a piece of trash. Well, let me know if this is trailer trash or not, right? This is the home right here, 16 feet wide, 60 feet long. So this is a single wide. We actually have a pitched roof here. It's not a flat roof. And this is a, what did I say, 1993 So not super young, but definitely not, it's right in the middle range of what you'll see in the used market inventory. We see homes, you know, all the way back to like 1970, like that's old for mobile homes. And when you hit the 1990s right now, I'd say this is middle tier. And if you're in the 2000s, 2010s and so forth, I would consider that newer inventory in the used mobile home space. So mid-range in terms of age, 16,000. Overall, looking pretty good. I mean, this is rent-ready condition. They've taken good care of this. You got the living room, you got the kitchen, the outside. Yeah, there's a little bit of warping here, but I mean, you don't expect it to be perfect for that price. We have a bathroom here. Another angle of the living room. Here's a bedroom. They took really good care of this overall. Look at that. They even have a bath here. What do we call that? I forget what you call it. Sit down tub, bath. Just what do I have? Love tub in my head. I don't know which. But anyways, they got one of those, which is not common. But anyways, this is basically what it's looking like for $16,000. And so, is this a deal or no deal? So what do we normally do in our deal reveal? We check the two golden rules of real estate. One, are we buying at a discount? And two, are we buying cash flow? So one, buy at a discount. So we're in such low price points here, $16,000. And typically when our gatekeepers are sending us mobile homes like these for sale, they range from typically 5,000 to 25,000. Like that's typically the range of what we see come by. Sometimes you get 30,000, but there's like really something special going on with it to make it that high. So these are really low value properties. You could, go check out the black book and see what the value of this vehicle is, and then minus the work that needs to be done and so forth. But honestly speaking, I don't. I simply do not look at the value of these homes, the real value. It's not like you can go on Zillow or Realtor.com and type in the address and get some comps for this. You're gonna get pulled in with normal property, three bedroom, 2 bath, and you're gonna be way off. So first of all, we have to acknowledge that these are mobile homes. So it's a vehicle, and its value is going to go down over time, and the maintenance costs are going to go up over time because these are flimsier than a stick-built home. And so the value, the actual what is it worth, is not so much a concern when I consider it. And there's two reasons for that. Because two, the cash flow better be very strong. If I'm going to buy a depreciating asset, it's going to be a cash flow play, not an equity play. So the value is going to tend towards zero anyways. Next year it's going to be worth less, and 10 years is going to be worth practically nothing. So that's not why. We know we're losing on that side long term. So the gain has to be very strong in the other side, and the other side is cash flow. Okay, and cash flow is something we can estimate rather quickly because it still is a 3-2. And so it is very reasonable to go on Rentometer and then see what in that area 3-2s are being rented for. And you've kind of got this hybrid thing. It's not an apartment. It's not a single, well, it is a single family home, but it's a trailer. So like the comps you'll see in Rentometer, I think right on the average is going to be exactly what you're looking for. Because when we look on apartments, we're on the lower side. When we look at single family homes, we're typically on the higher side of the average. Well, this mobile home is a single family home. And so for the most part, it'll be right around average. So it's hard for me to just go in Rentometer right now because I don't have an address. This is, you're going to buy this home and you're going to move it. And that's the second part of the conversation here. But let's just say first part, how do we run the numbers on something like this? Well, in one of our mobile home parks, if we were to buy this and bring it to Northeast Michigan in one of our mobile home parks, we would buy it. So we have to pay the 16 or a little less if we negotiate. We have to move it there with an insured, bonded moving company. And that can be to the range of $5,000, right? If it's really not too far, maybe 2-3, but mostly, no one really does the work for under 5. And it could go higher, especially if you're moving like a double wide, which we don't, we've never moved actually. It's always been single wides. So plug for 5,000 for that. And then if you have any repairs to do and setup costs to put in place. And so for this one, looks in pretty good shape. I think for $5,000, we get this up and running all good for repairs and setup, and off we go. So let's say fit round numbers, 15 to buy, 5 to move, 5 to install. We're in for $25,000. That'd be the total purchase price of the project. And so then we bring it to a park, and for something like this, we would probably be 600, maybe 650 a month in our park for something like this. I'll be more conservative, 600 per month. And they rent the home from us. We happen to own the park as well. And so that's the lot and home rent put together for $600 a month. And in these parks, there's very little expenses. The tenants pay for all utilities. In this particular park, it's private utilities. So the well handles the water, and we have a lagoon system for the septic. So it's all private, so there's no extra cost for that. So it's very low expenses. So to the tune of 30% in our expenses would be associated to this particular purchase. So of that 7,200 a year gross, we probably keep about 5,000. And so if our net is $5,000 and it cost us 25 to get into it, that $25,000 we're purchasing is giving us a 20% return on investment, a 20 cap property, okay? But it can get so much better than that if you are the owner of the park as well, okay? So this is it. So yes, you just invested money at 20% return, which is just fantastic, okay? But this is in a mobile home park. And so a mobile home park, not a mobile home, but the park itself, if you own the land that contains all the homes, this is a special asset class, and it gets financed and refinanced under commercial lending, not residential lending. And so the value of the park is based on the income it generates, right? The net income it generates. Adding that one property added $5,000. Let me go back to my calculator here. Added $5,000 a year of net income. Cost me 25 to get it, and I added $5,000 of net income, okay? In this particular market, we're right around a 10 cap. It's a 10 cap market, meaning I've increased the value of my park by doing this, $5,000 divided by a 10 cap market. I've increased the value of my park by $50,000. So you spend 25, you make 5,000 of cash flow. That's a 20% return on investment. And you've increased the park by 50,000, twice the amount you've invested to actually buy, move, and set up the home. So if your plan is to buy a park, increase rents, increase occupancy, bring in homes, increase revenue to then refinance because you bumped up its value much higher, like you just saw me do with the purchase of one home here, well, then suddenly your refinance on the back end can be pushed into perfect BRRRR territory. And now everybody's singing and dancing kumbaya. So is this a deal or no deal? Let's start there. What do we like? Poria says it's not considered real estate. Okay, well, I think it could be considered cash flow. And in a mobile home park, we are definitely in real estate territory. There's no land in this deal. You're absolutely right. The value of real estate is in the land. Depends. It really depends. Are you buying cash flow? Are you buying equity? What is the strategy? It's not always buying property the way to get profitable in real estate. Yes, Adam's got a really, really good question. I'm glad this comes up because this is what I wanted to get at here. If we don't own a park, how can we basically do this strategy? Well, do you know a park owner? Do you see the value, right? Do you see the value for the park owner if you buy a home, have it delivered to their park, and then you strike a deal with them that, for example, you split the profits 50-50, right? And so that's how creative we can be here. you've significantly increased the value of the park for the owner. The owner didn't have to spend $25,000 to infill their vacant lots. This works particularly well if you've got a mobile home park that has low occupancy, or the owner doesn't have the capital to infill the park, or doesn't have even the desire or the whatever it might be. People do things for different reasons. So how much, Puria is asking, how much is the rent for lot in a mobile home park? It depends where your mobile home is, where your mobile home park is. In our park, lot rent is about $350, and lot plus home is about $650. This is Northeast Michigan, and this is one particular park I have in mind. It's in the complete boonies. Those are the numbers. Adam says, if you own the park, it's a deal, but if you don't own the park, it's no deal. So I don't know if you wrote that before what I just said, but what if you knew park owners, or what if, oh, there's this great deal for a mobile home, and then you communicate with a park owner, you say, hey, I've got a home, can I bring it onto your, I'll be your renter, or we can do a JV or some kind of profit sharing, right, where we split it. Because even splitting these numbers in two, right, a 50-50 can be at good numbers on some of these mobile homes for you. It definitely could be, especially if you explain to the owners how their park's value is increasing by the fact that you're increasing its income. So you may have to deal with a little bit more of the savvy investors, the savvy park owners, but you might know some, right? So if this is something of interest, a huge benefit of this strategy is that it's $25,000, right? And there's no financing. There are some financing products available. They're very far and few between, but nonetheless, it's $25,000 to get this deal completely done through and through. And then it's a matter of, you know, what are the size of the lots in the mobile home park, right? Not all parks can take double wides, for example. Some have specific runners or pads that can only accept a 14-footer or a 12-footer, depending on the size. And you know, there's rules around bringing in new homes into an older park, newer regulations and so forth. Like that all has to be figured out. But the point here is that there might be something that you thought wasn't real estate, was completely to be disregarded. Who would buy a vehicle, a depreciating asset? Well, I'm saying, you know, we can definitely make something work. So, deal or no deal? And yes, Adam. So Adam's saying it could basically become a wholesale deal if you don't own the park. It definitely could. Okay, but you could benefit from some more lifetime cash flow instead of adding $5,000 to the deal. And so the owner pays 30, and you know, you make 5,000 for making or finding the deal, making the deal happen, which could be what you want, could be what the others want. But then the park owner would have to pay 30. In the other example, he pays nothing. But the trade-off is that cash flow split is going to be for the lifetime of the property, as opposed to just the 5,000 fee. So it's a money later or a money now trade-off. A lot of wholesalers are money now, money now, money now. The way I think and the way I invest is money later, money later, money later. I want to get way more. I want to guarantee some streams of income, some passive income. So I do the work once and I get paid for a very, very long time. But different people have different desires and different timelines. I'm just more patient in my payouts. I don't need I don't need a huge amount of money right now. So that's that. That's what I wanted to show you all today. Adam's asking one last question here. How long do you expect the typical mobile home to last before it's not worth repairing? Like I said, we've got some homes in our park that we bought with the park, and they're in the 70s, 1970s. And you know, sometimes the tenant's been there for a super long time, and then they end up leaving, or whatever case may be, or they pass away, and the repairs to fix it up again are very, very rarely above 5,000. So you can really extend the life cycles just by keeping up the maintenance. What was I going to say? But another strategy that, especially if you're looking to grow and scale in the mobile home and the mobile home park space, is maybe you just buy these homes and sell them off at cost to the tenants. So all the maintenance and so forth is off your shoulders, right? So you might buy it for 15 and you're all in for 25, and then you just sell it to the tenant and you have them pay, $200 more a month than normal rent. And it's just 25,000. They'll just pay it off slowly. Off you go. So you don't make a profit on it. You give them home ownership in the process, and you remove yourself, kind of like a triple net lease. You remove yourself a lot of the responsibilities for the upkeep and maintenance and so forth. And so that could be part of the model, to just sell off. You don't want to own any homes. You'll probably have to buy homes to fill your park. Don't expect other people to buy homes unless they're on a call like this, or don't expect so many people to move their homes to your park. It's very, very rare that happens. It happens, but it's very, very rare. So you control the inflow of new homes into your park. And then if you don't want to own that particular depreciating asset, well, then sell it off and remove it from your books. As simple as that. So that is it. That's what I wanted to say. There was a lot of learning, hopefully, in here. Yes, lots of ideas. Savvy says it's a deal after all. Fantastic. Perfect. And you'll see in different markets, a home could rent for a whole different amount. So if this is a particular niche strategy that you'd like to focus on, I highly recommend you pick up the phone, you contact a whole bunch of park owners, see who's open to this type of idea. And then from there, you can start hunting for what they're looking for in their parks and then plugging it in. And then you can run your rental meter and all that to see the exact cash flow that can be generated. But the numbers start breaking, if you're starting to buy the homes for like 25,000 and it costs you 10 to get in, and it starts breaking. Like that $25,000 number is kind of like a sweet spot. If you can be all in for about 25,000, that's where there's enough meat, and you have a nice product for everyone to get paid and be happy with the arrangement. That's what I've seen at least in the Midwest, Ohio and Michigan. So that is that. Hopefully you enjoyed. This is not something we cover in the 3-day blueprint. The 3-day is really your foundations to make sure you understand those golden rules of real estate. You understand how to burr your money, recycle your money, so you never, you can always keep on moving on with your investing. But if the 3-day is of interest to you, you can catch the recording of the last one we did about a little less than a month ago. We have not set the date for the next one, so not sure if it'll be this year. If we're going to have another one. But if you're interested in the recording and you want to get started on your U.S. real estate investing journey, just go to n40.club/blueprint and we'll take care of you. So that's it. That is our deal reveal. Have yourself a most wonderful evening and join our Facebook group. Now for Tomorrow Club. We have a huge and beautiful community there just waiting to help you along the way. So have a good evening. And we'll see you either in 35 minutes in the Now for Tomorrow Club Premium Mastery Call, or we'll see you next week, same time, at our next deal reveal. And by the way, next week is going to be, we will be on next week, but the week after, there will be no deal reveal because Janie and I are celebrating my birthday and our 3rd year wedding anniversary in Cuba. And so we're taking the week off. So next week is good. The week after, I'll remind you next week, is no good because we'll be looking at some totally different type of real estate out in Cuba. So have yourself a great evening, great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Don't wait for tomorrow.